Hello Year 11 students and welcome to our second poetry video. This one is on the Departure platform, again by Thomas Hardy. We will start by me reading it aloud and you making notes on new vocabulary. Actually, no, we won't. We will start with an overview of the poem, which is, it's another poem about love. But this time it is a dramatized account, which means a narrative or telling a story of a woman leaving the narrator at a train station. We know that from the very first part, which is the title, because the title is on the departure platform. So we can infer that it's going to be someone leaving. It's powerful and melancholic. Good word there. It means to be sad. It's a melancholic poem about the departure. The speaker only talks about the departure and not the relationship previously. So the focus is all on the leaving at the train station. Okay, stanza one. We kissed at the barrier, and passing through she left me. And moment by moment got smaller and smaller, until my view she was but a spot. A barrier is this here, so the front part of the train station when you go through. A wee spot of muslin fluff that down the diminishing platform bore through hustling crowds of gentle and rough to the carriage door. Of course, there should be a full stop there, and I have missed it out, so ignore that. A wee spot of muslin fluff. Wee means small. Muslin is a type of material. It's a lightweight cotton cloth. And fluff in this case means a dress. That down the diminishing platform bore. Diminishing means getting smaller and smaller or disappearing. And bore, in this case, means she travelled down the platform. So she was disappearing as she walked down the platform. Through hustling crowds of gentle and rough. Hustling is a busy crowd. To the carriage door. Stanza 3. Under the lamplight's fitful glowers, behind dark groups from far and near, whose interests were apart from ours, she would disappear. Lamplight is a street lamp or a street light. Under the lamplight's fitful glowers. Fitful means not regular, so when a street light flickers on and off. And glower is an angry look. Behind dark groups from far and near, whose interests were apart from ours, she would disappear. Stanza 4. Then show again till I ceased to see that flexible form, that nebulous white. And she who was more than my life to me had vanished quite. Ceased means to stop. So till I ceased to see, till I could no longer see her. That flexible form, that nebulous white. Nebulous is like it comes from cloud and it means hazy. So she was disappearing, becoming hazy, he could no longer see her. We have penned new plans since that fair fond day, and in season she will appear again. Perhaps in that same soft white array, but never as then. We have penned new plans means they have written to each other, because penned means written. Since that fair fond day. Fair means nice. Yes, I used the word nice. Fond in this case means naive. So since that naive day, when maybe they both believed they would see each other again, or at least he believed that he would see her again. Array, perhaps in the same soft white array. Array in this case means a dress. And why, young man, Must eternally fly a joy you'll repeat if you love her well. Eternally means forever. O friend, naught happens twice thus. Why? I cannot tell. O friend, naught happens, nothing happens. Twice thus, nothing happens twice in this way. Okay, we'll go back to stanza 1 and look at it in detail. Okay, as I said, this is a poem about love, and it's in 6 quatrains. A quatrain, as a reminder, is a verse or a stanza with 4 lines, and it's written like a story. And it's the speaker telling the story about his girlfriend leaving him. Apart from the final stanza, which is in dialogue, it's either a friend talking to the narrator or the narrator's self. So he's talking to himself inside his head. If you look through the poem and look at the rhyme scheme, you'll see that it's full rhyme. Full rhyme means that it rhymes exactly. So through, view is a perfect rhyme. Got, spot is a perfect rhyme. There are 3 main characters in this poem: the speaker, the man who's being left at the train station, the woman who is leaving him, and the friend at the end. The setting is a train station, and you know that from the very first, from the title. Also, you know it from the first stanza because it says barrier, and we know that a barrier is in a train station. At the end, the speaker philosophizes about things that only happen once in a lifetime. We'll get to that later when we look at stanza 6. And what I'd like you to do now is take out a highlighter or a colored pen or whatever and highlight the words or phrases which show images of her fading, which I will go through with you. So we kissed at the barrier, and passing through she left me, and moment by moment got smaller and smaller. You should highlight smaller and smaller. That's an image of her fading. Until my view she was but a spot. Again, highlight a spot. That is an image of her fading. Stanza 2. A wee spot of muslin fluff. A wee spot of muslin fluff should be highlighted as well. That down the diminishing platform bore, through hustling crowds of gentle and rough, to the carriage door. Under the lamplight's fitful glowers, behind dark groups from far and near, whose interests were apart from ours, she would disappear. Please highlight she would disappear as an image of her fading. Then show again till I ceased to see that flexible form, that nebulous white. Please highlight nebulous white because she looks like a cloud, she's fading, she's hazy. And she who was more than my life to me had vanished quite. Please highlight vanished because that is a clear image of her fading. We have penned new plans since that fair fond day, and in season she will appear again, perhaps in the same soft white array, but never as then. And can you highlight soft white array because that is an image of her disappearing as well. And back to stanza 1. We kissed at the barrier, and passing through she left me. She left him. He feels bereft, which means very, very sad, and deserted. So it's the woman who chooses to inflict this pain. And moment by moment, the repetition of moment shows how the narrator watches her disappear, and he follows her throughout the crowds, lost in the dark, and then finally she vanishes into a spot. Stanza 2. A wee spot of muslin fluff that down the diminishing platform bore, through hustling crowds of gentle and rough, to the carriage door. Maybe you can spot the alliteration in here. Down, diminishing. D, D. Why does Hardy use alliteration here? He wants us to focus on the word diminishing. That's why he repeats the D sound. He wants us to focus on the word diminishing because she's disappearing. Through hustling crowds of gentle and rough. So the crowds of people, those catching the train, were from all different walks of life. So they were working class and upper class. But the woman merges with them. And he follows the woman all the way through the hustling crowds, right until she gets to the carriage door. So he's looking at her until the last possible moment. And stanza 3. Under the lamplight's fitful glowers, behind dark groups from far and near, whose interests were apart from ours, she would disappear. Again, maybe you can spot the alliteration in here of fitful. So this is alliteration within a word. Why does he use this word? Why does Hardy use this word? Again, because he wants us to focus on the word fitful. Behind dark groups. Dark is a sinister word. He maybe blames the crowds of people for her departure, rather than blaming the woman herself. Whose interests were apart from ours. Here, were apart from ours. Hardy only cares about this woman and what she wants. Everyone else is irrelevant. She would disappear. Hardy seems to fear that he will never see her again, that this is the last time he will ever see her. This whole stanza is about his discontent or his unhappiness with letting her go. He really doesn't want her to go. And stanza 4. Then show again till I ceased to see that flexible form, that nebulous white. Here he chooses to use nebulous white to describe her. The girl to him looks like a cloud. She can be seen and imagined, but is out of his reach, just like a cloud. And she was more than life to me. Sorry, she was more than my life to me. It means that she was the world to him. She meant everything to him, so understandably, he's devastated. Had vanished quite. The train has finally disappeared and he can no longer see her love, and he fears she may be lost forever. Stanza 5. We have penned new plans since that fair fond day. He's written to her. They hope to meet again. Hopefully they can recapture the magic of before. But the last line, but never as then, suggests that it may be not quite the same, because they can never recapture the magic of what they had before. Stanza 6. This is either a friend talking to him or his conscience. That's for you to decide. But he's talking about finding a new woman for him. It's an attempt to comfort him. And why, young man, must eternally fly, a joy you'll repeat if you love her well. This might happen. He might be able to find a new girlfriend. But then again not. O friend, naught happens twice thus. Why? I cannot tell. Maybe this is only a once-in-a-lifetime love.